Well, New York City Comic-Con has kicked off, and day one, Marvel is already bringing the goodies. Not only did we get a new look at Charlie Cox's costume from Daredevil Born Again, along with one of his civilian outfits, we got a brand new character-infused logo from Marvel itself, and a brand new Wolverine for the Ultimate Universe. So let's take a couple minutes to dive into day one of Comic-Con for Marvel Studios and all the goodies they've dropped right out of the gate. Now, this weekend is New York Comic-Con, and that means we're going to have a lot of updates, so I'm going to try to bring them to you pretty regularly and not just compress them all into one video. Now, the conference has officially kicked off, although Thursday is quite honestly the lightest day. But right out of the gate, we started getting some great stuff from Marvel Studios. Now, we haven't gotten any trailers or anything like that yet, although I think some are about to be released. We have gotten a first look at a new Marvel logo, Daredevil's costume from the upcoming series, and a brand new Wolverine with a new costume in the Ultimate Universe. So let's start off with the logo. Now, as many of you know, Marvel is kind of famous for placing their characters inside the Marvel lettering in various logos over the generations of the show. And at Comic-Con, we got a brand new logo with lots of updated characters. Now, as we check this out, it becomes pretty clear there's some great stuff here. Going from left to right, you have Wilson Fisk, you've got Daredevil, Storm, a look at Johnny Storm from the new film, along with Anthony Mackie's Captain America and Herbie the Robot. We've got a pretty menacing look of the Hulk. I have to say, I like those yellow eyes. And then the logo is finished out with various characters from What If, Galactus, the Scarlet Witch, and even Magic. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, and I have to say, I like what I'm seeing. Now, the close-ups of some of the characters are what's interesting. This is really a great look at Herbie the Robot, as well as some official art for Johnny Storm. And like I said, the Harrison Ford version of the Red Hulk does look menacing, and I absolutely love the eyes right out of the comics. Now, all of these images came via Brandon Davis, so I wanted to make sure I gave proper credit, but all in all, this gives a great flavor for the current status of Marvel, and all these new faces look pretty great. Now, along with the new logo, we got some looks at Charlie Cox's various costumes coming up in Daredevil Born Again. Now, most of these are Daredevil suit, but we did get one look at one of Charlie Cox's civilian outfits. A pretty standard look for the character, but it's the Daredevil costume that's got everybody talking. Now, we did get some set pictures of this costume a couple of months ago, but this is a much, much better look. And all in all, I really do like what I'm seeing. It definitely appears to be a brighter shade of red, and I definitely think Marvel is going to go out of their way to highlight this sort of different look for the costume. Now, I also noticed that the gloves are a bit different, and the mask design definitely draws some inspiration from what they did with that Logan costume, where, as Deadpool joked, he can move his head unlike Batman. Now, for me, the only thing missing from this costume, if I'm being honest, is the DD on his chest. Marvel did a pretty good job listening to fans here, so I'm kind of surprised they did not make this alteration to the costume. But I have to wonder if the logo itself didn't quite work with the texturing and the color scheme that they've gone with the new costume. I also noticed there is a lot of black in the gloves, surrounding the mask and along the shoulders, which definitely works for me, but I think it could have been an all-red costume. Now, we still don't know if other costumes are going to show up. Charlie Cox did get the classic yellow costume in She-Hulk, and we've seen pictures from that leaked trailer that indicate that not only will he have this costume, but the yellow costume, a white costume, the costume from the original Netflix series, and the quite awesome Black Shadowlands costume all could potentially be part of the show. Now, the other little bit of news we got was the unveiling of a first look at Ultimate Wolverine. Now, we've known for a while that Wolverine was coming to the new Ultimate Universe, but we did get a first look at the character, and he's definitely quite different than the classic version of the character. Now, one of the cool things about this costume is they seem to be leaning into the orangish-brown color scheme, but pairing it with the classic black. The design itself is from Alexandro Capiccio, and they definitely have that Ultimate Universe feel, which often has imagery that connects us to the classic characters, but with some new takes, and I think this version of the costume might actually work. Probably the biggest departure here is Wolverine wearing a mask on the lower half of his face, which honestly I kind of like. It makes him a bit more menacing, and obviously within the Ultimate Universe, this is not the classic version of Wolverine, so if they want to go out on a creative limb, I am perfectly okay with that. Now, we still are early in day one of New York Comic Con. I'm going to try to bring you guys multiple updates over the weekend from both Marvel and DC, I suspect we're going to get a lot of news from all fronts, and it's not going to be the end of the goodies that Marvel's going to bring us this weekend, so I don't think this is the end of the surprises Marvel is going to hit us up with this weekend, but I am super curious. What do you think Marvel is going to reveal? More comics, maybe some trailers, or unannounced projects? I'm still hoping for Nova or Silver Surfer. Now, before you take off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell for all the updates, and make sure you get every notification because we do daily Marvel and DC content and we don't want you to miss any news.